Well, there's an interesting story about that one. My main one that I used waiting for the punchline tour, I used to play it wholehearted on it, and I used to use for different stuff. And then all of a sudden, we got to this medley where I was supposed to use it. And he comes out and he hands me my normal 6-string. He always goes, "Just take this, I'll explain later." I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah.
And you've had some crazy ones throughout the 90s too. I told you a little bit about this earlier. We were actually talking about this, me and Chris, was that the N61s were a humbucker 2 singles, kind of a different look, right? Towards what, that mid-90s?
Yeah.
The scene was changing a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you had the N8, which was an ads. We talked about that a little bit. The double neck, which was a beast. That never actually went in production, did it?
They made a few of them.
I think so.
They made a few.
Do you still have yours?
Yeah. Mine, well, there's an interesting story about that one. I had mine. There was that, and there was a backup one. Backup one a friend of mine had. But my main one that I used on the punchline tour, waiting for the punchline tour, I used to play it wholehearted on it, and I used to use for different stuff. We were on tour with, I want to say, ZZ Top, I believe, and we were like in Salt Lake City or something like that. And imagine, this thing is, it's a piece of furniture. It's a piece of furniture. It's a double neck. So imagine you're in an arena stage, lights go down, and we'd start the set. And every time my tech would like make sure he'd come around, watch, make sure I was good for the half of the song, first song. And then all of a sudden, we got to this medley where I was supposed to use it. And he comes out and he hands me my normal 6-string. And I'm like, no, it's wholehearted. What are you going to do? He goes, "Just take this. I'll explain later." I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, and he just goes, he didn't want to tell me what was going on. But in the meantime, what was happened is the lights go down. He's watching me. He turns back to the boat where all the guitars are. The double neck is gone, stolen, right off the stage while the lights are down waiting for us to start. And somebody was just waiting, and the tech left the area, like from here to there. He turns around, he says, "It was just gone." I'm like, "What do you mean it's gone? How does somebody just walk out with a double neck?"
Yeah.
And he goes,
for that,
so it had to
right?
be an inside job or something, security or somebody or a tech or another roadie or something like that. So while we're playing, they shut down the whole arena, and the tour manager's going from room to room, seeing if somebody has it. Nowhere to be found. Somebody just must have walked right out the door with it, with credentials or whatever, put it in a car, left it, put it on a bus, something. Gone for years. So I lost like the original double neck. And what's crazy about the story is 5-6 years later, I'm at home and Carl from Washburn, Carl Stalker, calls me. He goes, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "What? What's up?" He goes, "You're never going to believe what I'm looking at in my office in Chicago." And I go, "What is it?" He goes, "Your original double neck." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It came and it showed up with a letter in it." And it was this letter, and this guy says, "I want to return this to Nunobettencourt, and I want to tell him I'm sorry that I have his guitar for taking me." All this, it was amazing, and it was all because it was part of it was part of that 12-step program. Like he was in AA, or he went in for something, and you have to do something like back that you regret, that you do whatever. So he returned the guitar out of guilt and part of the program, and he wanted to make amends. And he returned the guitar. And then I was thinking, after he returned it, probably like 6 months later, he's getting trashed in the bar going, "I can't fucking believe I gave that guitar back." He's probably like, "What the fuck?" But what the fuck, right? I get it. I got it back. I couldn't believe it.
So you have it now?
Yeah, I had it. Yeah.
When was the last time you played that thing?
Oh, man, it's been forever.
You have to bust that out.
Yeah.
Just people would love to see that video. So let's fast forward a little bit, because you've had a lot of great models, and there's now a lot on the market from Washburn. We have a vintage model, we have an authentic model, and now we have a 4N model too.
All made by this guy right here.
That's right.
All made by the mighty Chris Meade. So let's start talking about this. Feel free to chime in. Let's talk about the differences. Maybe we should move this maybe to one of the areas where we can look at the necks and stuff like that. actually a Dean's
Sign it.
headstock too, sort
Want me
of.
to sign it?
Yes. For the Nashville Shred Den. Gold's a good color. Maybe not.
All right.
There it is. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. The ultimate addition to your Shred Den has arrived. Masters of Shred has teamed up with Sam Hill Customs to create the ultimate tribute to arguably one of the greatest rock bands to ever walk the planet with our limited edition Super Halen 1x12 Saldano amp. Each 1x12 cabinet and matching Saldano head housing is scientifically crafted with the highest grade materials to give you that monstrous tone that will light up the sky. Hand signed by Sam Hill himself, you can be confident that your Super Halen amplifier is 100% authentic and truly one of a kind. Hand draped in the pages of a vintage 1990 Van Halen comic book, no two Super Halen amps are the same. Each Super Halen cabinet is loaded with a 12-inch warehouse guitar speakers Green Beret 25-watt speaker hand-built in the USA, which is a massive upgrade from the Celestion G12M greenbacks that we have become so accustomed to. Visit www.mastersofshred today to reserve your Super Halen amp before you can't get this stuff no more.